And Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog, kicks96country.com. Our guest today, all the way from the great state of Pennsylvania, where I used to live, incidentally. Please welcome Nashville, Tennessee resident, Pennsylvania native, Chuck Thomas. How are you, Chuck?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
All right. So, Bucks County.
Yes.
That's right. Now, if you know, my geography is not great, but I think that's not far from Philly, is it?
It's about 45 minutes to an hour north of Philly.
Gotcha. Okay. I knew it was close. I don't think I've ever been to Bucks County, but I've been to Philadelphia plenty of times. And I remember Bucks County is not unheard of. If you've ever been to Pennsylvania, lived in Pennsylvania, you probably have heard of it. And Pennsylvania, a lot like a lot of states up there, a lot of rural area up there. So,
yes.
You know, I'm originally from Michigan. So, I mean, there's a lot of rural area in Michigan. And Pennsylvania is no different. People think that if you're not from the South, you can't know country music. That is so wrong. Because you, Chuck, you grew up with the legends of country music in your life, as far as like, you know, the music and their influence.
Yeah, I was really fortunate that, my dad's family was all into music, except for my dad.
It's always the way.
So my dad was the athlete. Everybody else was, so I, of course, grew up with a baseball bat and a glove in my hand. But my uncle had the opportunity, and he played for George Jones.
Wow.
On the Louisiana hayride.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it was kind of funny because George said to my uncle, he said, I think I got something. I'm going to go to Nashville. And my uncle goes, okay. He goes, I want you to go with me. My uncle said, no, you know what? I'm just going to go back to Jersey. So it was a really wise move on his part. No. But yeah, it was, I wrote my first song at 9 years old.
Yeah. You said music chose you.
It did. It did. And it's, when you're younger, you listen to, the rock, influences back then and everything. But I grew up in that household that had Merle and Waylon and, Willie and Cash. And so I got really into listening to what lyrics mean, which made me become the lyricist that I am today.
Okay.
So when I say that it chose me, I mean, like most people I feel in this music business, we've quit 1,000 times. And as soon as you get in the car, another tune comes into your head and you have to write it anyhow. So it literally takes over your soul rather than you jumping into theirs.
All right. So at some point you decided to leave Bucks County, Pennsylvania and relocate to Nashville.
I did.
You're going to make those dreams come true. So you packed your bag and you came to that. When did you move to Nashville?
Moved to Nashville in 2006.
Okay. So you've been there close to 20 years, getting on 20 years now.
Yep.
All right. So you've had the opportunity, since you've been there, you've opened up for a number of different artists. What would you say your songwriting has grown in that environment, the Nashville environment? You got a chance to work with Nashville songwriters?
The biggest thing, is, and the reason that I made that choice to move to Nashville is to be around some of the best songwriters in the world, if not the best. And, some people will come in and, they're a big fish in a small town. When you get to Nashville, you're not. So I went in with knowing that I was just there to strictly learn. So I would, go to certain establishments, we'll say.
Yeah.
And
they have establishments there. I've seen them.
And, just talk. Nobody in Nashville, you can't go to Nashville and have them come to you and knock on your door. So you have to go up there. You have to use your personality. You have to talk to people. You got to remember certain things and learn. And that's what I feel that I've done with the time that I've been in Nashville, is really learn, good and bad. I mean, because there's some bad that you want to eliminate in your shows and in your songs and everything also. And it's, you have to have your mind open to that, to really do it well.
All right, well, let's talk about the music. Now, you've had some successes on country radio, on the country charts. You've had good songs. You got a single out that's right now, "Working on a Good Night."
Yes.
Now, tell us a story of that. Is that one that you wrote? Did you co-write that? Where'd that come from?
Wrote it myself. Wrote it probably in about 45 minutes.
Okay.
And
well, that was a good night.
Yeah, it was. And it was just, I had mentioned to people before, they're like, well, where do you get your inspirations or where do you get your ideas? I literally see the video in my head, and then I write it per the video that I see.
Okay.
So it was, everybody has to work. Everybody has their good days and their bad days. Okay. But we always tend to get together and at local establishments and make it a good night.
There's those establishments again.
Yes.
Right? So Chuck Thomas writing songs for the video stories in his head, working on a good night is the current single. What do you think is going to be next for you?
Well, I have several songs, and that's probably the hardest is, me being the writer and the performer of the songs. I'm too close to the song to really choose. So, what I've done, with my publisher and partner, business partner is we would have listening parties. So we would invite people over. I would play 12 to 15 songs for them, give them a sheet, and they could actually evaluate what they liked, what they didn't. So it was surprising to not only myself, but, to Liz also, because the one song we thought was great comes out it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And, and everybody was really receptive, and we wanted them to be, don't tell me everything's great. Really be receptive. And they're like, well, okay, opening's too long, don't understand this. And they were clear on that. And again, it made me realize, okay, I need to look at it a little bit differently. But it was nice to get their opinions on it. So there's a few that are in the, the bucket right now to get recorded and get out there.
So that means there's an album coming?
What we're planning on doing is I talked to my producer, and I had 2 albums out. My first album was Cigarettes and Whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
which in 2019 was the #1 independent album in Nashville, which was a great surprise to me. Then we came out with Hillbilly Friday Night, and that album has done really well. So what we want to do is almost do like a little essentials, grab a couple songs that we know are popular from both, put them together, and then just have bonus tracks of all the new stuff that we're going to add to it, and then create one full album.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So we're looking forward to the Chuck Thomas album with this song will be on it. Looking for a good night.
It will.
Working on a good night. It'll be on that one.
It will.
All right. So if somebody is hearing your story and they're thinking, I want to learn more about Chuck Thomas, where do they go online to find you?
Well, they can go through all your social medias, whether it be Facebook under Chuck Thomas Music. They can go into Spotify, Geezer, Apple Music, Pandora. I can be found on all those. And then I do have my own website, which is ChuckThomasAmericanamusic.com.
All right. So Chuck Thomas is our guest. Working on a Good Night is the single. If you want to hear it, call us at Kicks 96. We'll gladly play it for you. Look for a live performance from Chuck elsewhere here on our YouTube channel. Thanks for coming down and visiting us, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And we'll see you next time on another artist video blog, Kicks96country.com.